So we need to be completely honest about A'ja Wilson here. Because these are some of the dumbest, some of the dumbest conversations ever in sport is surrounding A'ja Wilson. We gotta be completely honest here. And these are conversations and topics that should never have to be said. These are arguments that should never have to be made. But we gotta do it because, unfortunately, that's just the way things are right now.
The WNBA is making headlines, but not for the reasons you'd expect. A'ja Wilson, once the undisputed star of the league, is now finding herself in an unfamiliar role, one of being overshadowed.
So the Caitlin Clark jersey retirement ceremony has created some of the funniest discourse I have ever seen.
While Caitlin Clark is out there breaking records and becoming a household name, A'ja Wilson's $16 jerseys are gathering dust on store shelves. Instead of taking a step back to evaluate the situation, Wilson seems to be putting on what could only be described as an Oscar-worthy performance. More drama than basketball, positioning herself as a victim rather than a competitor.
And I think it's relying on her passing, getting the ball to her, defense double team, A'ja Wilson with a three.
Let's dive into the drama and break down why this jazz act isn't fooling anyone.
Number 22. And they have a game on 2.2, the 2nd of February. They are playing on the 2nd of February at home in Iowa. So obviously they are going to retire number 22's jersey on 2.2. They had planned this months, by the way, because they've had the jersey. People saw it in wherever Iowa play. They saw the jersey up there. It was in there. It was like with the jerseys, just hadn't been taken down yet.
Let's start with the facts. Wilson's jersey tickets are priced at just $16, an absolute steal, but fans are still staying away. Some even joke they'd only consider buying one if it came with a guarantee that she'd step out of the spotlight entirely. Yes, you read that right. Her merchandise is being actively ignored, and the reasons are pretty straightforward. For years, Wilson was handed a prime opportunity to grow both her personal brand and the WNBA. But what did she do with it? Minimal fan interaction, lackluster marketing, and a sense of entitlement that didn't sit well with fans. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark has completely rewritten the narrative, taking full advantage of her platform and reshaping the game.
I don't know, it's people still out there saying it ain't good enough. And that right there is all I need. Mere fact, I got 4th place. I ain't an MVP voting. So like in my eyes, it's still someone out there saying I'm not good. So every time now I gotta say, all right, bet, let's go ahead and show these people who's really good. So that's my point. That's my mind.
Caitlin Clark has redefined what it means to be a basketball superstar, both on and off the court. Her games are selling out faster than you can blink, and fans are lining up for tickets, jerseys, and anything else that has her name on it. But Caitlin's appeal isn't just due to her talent, it's her connection with the fans. She's visiting hospitals, signing autographs, and making herself accessible in ways that other players, including A'ja Wilson, have simply failed to do. Caitlin understands that being a star is about more than just stats. It's about building lasting relationships with the people who support you. That's why she's quickly become the face of the league, almost overnight. Meanwhile, A'ja Wilson seems to be stuck in a different narrative. Rather than rising to the occasion, she's been caught playing the victim. Her recent tirades have been less about self-reflection and more about deflecting blame, especially when it comes to the rise of Caitlin Clark. The truth is, A'ja had years to build her brand, but her lack of engagement with fans, lackluster promotional efforts, and sense of entitlement have kept her from making a meaningful connection. Fans aren't interested in excuses. They're drawn to players who give them something real to root for, and Caitlin Clark has figured that out, while A'ja seems stuck. Let's talk about jersey sales. A'ja Wilson's jerseys are priced at a modest $16, yet fans aren't rushing to buy them. In fact, some have said they'd only purchase one if it came with a guarantee that she would step out of the spotlight. Contrast that with Caitlin Clark, whose jerseys are in such high demand that they're selling for upwards of $200 to $400. Even her limited edition items like signed posters or commemorative balls are flying off the shelves for over $1,000. Caitlyn's fanbase doesn't just buy her merch. They see it as a piece of history, something to be proud of. A'ja Wilson's low-priced jerseys, on the other hand, are collecting dust. The difference here is clear. Caitlyn Clark has built a legacy through her hustle, dedication, and genuine engagement with fans. Her meteoric rise in popularity isn't just about her on-court performance, it's about her ability to connect with people. Fans are more than willing to pay a premium for her merch because they feel invested in her journey. A'ja Wilson, on the other hand, has failed to build that kind of connection, and the result is a noticeable lack of fan interest, despite her past accomplishments. When it comes to jersey retirements, the contrast between the two players is even more striking. Caitlyn Clark's upcoming ceremony at Carver Hawkeye Arena is shaping up to be a full-blown spectacle. Fans are traveling from all over the country. Tickets sold out instantly, and overflow crowds are expected. The event will be televised nationally, and local businesses are booming with Clark-themed merchandise. It's not just a retirement ceremony, it's a celebration of greatness. In stark contrast, A'ja Wilson's jersey retirement at South Carolina is shaping up to be far less exciting. There are no plans for national TV coverage, and the event is barely generating any buzz. Fans are already predicting it will feel more like an obligatory formality than a grand celebration. This is the reality. Caitlyn Clark has elevated the game to new heights, while A'ja Wilson is struggling to keep up. The numbers don't lie. Caitlyn Clark's rise has sparked a cultural phenomenon, with 18.7 million viewers tuning into her championship game, even surpassing NBA games in viewership. In contrast, A'ja Wilson's appearances, even in marquee events like the WNBA All-Star Game, have failed to generate significant interest. The difference isn't just about the stats, it's about how each player engages with their fans. Caitlyn Clark has redefined what it means to be a superstar, while A'ja Wilson is becoming a relic of the past, still expecting recognition without putting in the work to earn it. The reality is, fans want more than just good basketball. They want a connection to the player, a reason to get excited about the game. Caitlyn Clark delivers that in spades. A'ja Wilson, despite her accolades, hasn't been able to capture that same level of passion or marketability. As the league moves forward, it's clear that the future belongs to players who understand the importance of fan connection and marketability. Caitlyn Clark is leading the way, while A'ja Wilson struggles to keep pace. In stark contrast, A'ja Wilson's jersey retirement at South Carolina is shaping up to be far less exciting. There are no plans for national TV coverage, and the event is barely generating any buzz. Fans are already predicting it will feel more like an obligatory formality than a grand celebration. This is the reality. Caitlyn Clark has elevated the game to new heights, while A'ja Wilson is struggling to keep up. The numbers don't lie. Caitlyn Clark's rise has sparked a cultural phenomenon, with 18.7 million viewers tuning into her championship game, even surpassing NBA games in viewership. In contrast, A'ja Wilson's appearances, even in marquee events like the WNBA All-Star Game, have failed to generate significant interest. The difference isn't just about the stats, it's about how each player engages with their fans. Caitlyn Clark has redefined what it means to be a superstar, while A'ja Wilson is becoming a relic of the past,